Hello ladies and gentlemen, we're on Blackburn to start off this DreamHack Fall 2021 semi-finals between two amazing players, and let's start introducing the first of the two here in the bottom right hand corner. Spawning as the Red Terran, hailing from Korea, it is Bunny. His opponent in the bottom left hand corner, former world champion. And what a world champion he was. In the blue, he is Serral. What a weird way to actually start a series here on Blackburn. Like, this is one of those maps that usually don't even go past veto phase in this particular matchup. And honestly, seeing this being played as the first map of the series is already setting up quite a tone. Serral, it doesn't look like he's afraid to play on a less favorite map. We know how much he loves getting to the later stages of the game. So we also know how this map can be easily abused by Zerg players in the later stages by controlling some of these key positions, breaking down rocks, and allowing yourself to stop any pressure from your opponent by simply controlling the map and positioning your army correctly. And that's all about Zerg late game, and that's something that Serral will always be one, if not the best at it. We see a very standard opener from both sides, and honestly, as the first game of such an important series, I wouldn't have it any other way, and I'm sure the players do agree. We have a Reaper first, not a Marine first, to get some scouting from the side of Bunny, one of the most traditional Terran players, really accustomed to some of the newer builds. But he's been having quite a lot of success with a classical Terran style, a very traditional Terran style. And we can see here trying to get some kills on a couple lanes. Beautiful microcontrol by Serral. And the Queen will be in position afterwards to scare away the Reaper. We've seen Serral in the beginning of the game puff out his overloads to try and check if there are going to be any proxies, which there wouldn't be. So this scout is gonna come in at a little bit of a later stage. There's not much to be scouted, but there is a Marine to stop this overload from getting too much information now. And I love this paving, by the way. Just gonna check the back of the base to see if there's any scare cards, fusion cores, triple racks, early for command center, all these things. And Serral will know there's nothing of this list. Drop down his Roach Warren, switching a little bit of his own traditional style as of lately. And this Roach Warren is a clear example of that, which can be good in this matchup. You have to use it very correctly though. And you see Serral not producing a lot of drones right now. He's only producing army. These may go one of two directions. Like right now with the third base up, that's a lot of production, but that's also the possibility to out-macro your opponent and just gain control of a huge economical lead. This doesn't look what Serral is about now. Like, finally he's starting producing some drones back, but yeah, these roaches are walking through the map. They're not afraid. The other side though, Bunny's not afraid either. Gonna drop down the tech lab next to his starport and start a Banshee, which is gonna be clutch for this defense. Serral not really committing into this. He just wants to take a little bit of Bunny safety and bring it back home with him. He's not all in, he's not looking forward to end the game with this, just looking for any amount of damage he can find. Already 200 minerals worth of damage over here, but the Banshee is out and these roaches will have to try and go all out and do as much as possible. There's not a real way to get any more damage. This is probably the best that Serral can do. Getting a couple aliens will be amazing, but of course SCBs are gonna easily repair this wall, and this Banshee is gonna chip them away. So Serral decides against continuing his assault and retreating back home, even taking good vision about what this Banshee is doing constantly, which is decent. Queens are getting in position to stop the Viking from killing the Overlord. Beautiful transfuse by Serral, stopping these Vikings from getting too much. The Banshee is in position. Serral knows it's over here. And honestly, he doesn't really look afraid. There's not much in his main base. There's a Spore Crawler, of course. The Queen is getting in position. Like, there's no cloak. There is no cloak. And Serral is starting right now with a bulk boost. But this is not game. But Serral is taking full control of the map. Like, those Roach Warren scares. Oh, beautiful Eva Chambers blocks. Oh my goodness, Serral showing us why he was one of the best players in the world, and he's soon to be again. After a little bit of a hiatus, not really performing at his best in a couple tournaments. Definitely look like he's back to reign again. And of course, this economical advantage already saying a lot about what is going on over here. Bunny will look forward to get some damage into that gold base with Hellions, Banshees, whatsoever. Oh, Spore Crawler to connect the bases. Beautiful play. Spore Crawler is a little bit everywhere. Actually, oh, that is cute. But these Overlord is most likely going down. Here is lots of roaches out there for Serral, getting an infestation pit a little bit earlier than usual. Doubt it's going to be any Swarmos play, because of course you have Metabolic Boost, you're dropping down a Painling Nest, and this is Bio, so you're not gonna get much from Swarmos. But yeah, Infestors are of course always gonna be a great bet, and getting a fast Hive afterwards also going to be very good with Ravagers and Fungal Growths. The AoE damage and ease of connection of Serral's army is going to be very scary for Bunny, especially with only 3 tanks out there right now. It's not a power army. I love these queens getting control over here, getting in position, trying to connect to the creep and defending these drones. Bunny had the right idea, trying to get some damage onto the gold base. But yeah, you can see Serral on top of these. Bunny looking to get some damage over here, but beautiful scouting with this Overlord. He's gonna fall down. Lots of Overlords have died. As you can see, there's so many Spore Crawlers and there's already units in position. Serral will be able to clean the harass squad that Bunny had built up in the early game. And with a Hive halfway through, is looking to easily advance to the later stage of the game much quicker than his opponent. These Crypt Tumors are gonna be defended for a little while. Oh, beautiful Fungals. Here comes the Ravager Piles, not gonna hit. But as you can see, Serral looking to get some damage over here on the right side. 5 bases to soon to be 4. And the Hive is going up. Serral looking to get some damage done. He has a huge army supply, and he needs to do something with it before this Roach Ravager Ling army gets a little bit stale. As you well know, Roaches do not really scale in the late game, while Lings and Banes do, and these Ultras are prompting me into thinking that Serral can't wait to get a trade with his opponent. Even trying to engage between the 2 inhibitor zones. But of course, Bunny's gonna be on top of this game, not gonna get hit by the Ravager Piles. And get ready to strike in the top left. Very good play by Serral, forcing Bunny off of creep. But these Rust squad in the top left is Honestly, I think this is a little bit too clean for Bunny. Like, this was a little bit of a mistake from Serral, I think. Like, his army was too far away, and the base is going down. Beautiful play by Bunny, and near another round, at least an attempt at it by Serral off creep is not gonna hit anything. And as you can see, Serral in the top right is preparing something scary. Infestors and Banelings. Due for an interesting combo, especially with Ravagers to enforce it. Beautiful Marine over there to actually get scouting on what is happening. There is a planetary fortress over here, so these Banelings are not gonna get past that. But Serral is as I've said before this game even got started, like, this is the amount of map control that Zerg can get on this map once you get into the late game. But there is simply not. Even Banelings trying to detonate onto these debris to actually get even more map control. And as you can see, Bunny is literally surrounded by creep and different parts of Serral's army. Now finally Bunny is maxed out of 2 and he's getting some damage actually over here. This Ultra Cavern is in danger. No upgrade will be denied. This Ultra Speed is not something you can't start again, since it was just in the beginning stages. But you have to make another Ultra Cavern. You don't have Ultras for quite a while in the production tab. As soon as these ones finish, this attack is gonna be cleared at last. But Bunny, he did in the top left and in the main, he's gonna get some pretty significant damage. Another Queen is a little bit in danger. Oh, Bunny getting even 2 more drones. But here comes a big engagement. Beautiful corrosive clouds, blinding clouds by Serral on top of the tanks, and the rest of the army simply melt into Ultras, Roaches and Ravagers. Another tank is getting into position, but it's gonna be a little bit too late. Serral swarming en masse. Here, 4 tanks are gonna finally stop the onslaught of the Blue Zerg, and Bunny will hold for the time being. Serral not really too heavy on the economy right now, only at 70 workers, dropping down a Spire. This Ling, of course, is gonna check when and if Bunny is gonna take the top right base. Serral knows he can out-resource his opponent in a late game, and here comes another beautiful engagement. These Banelings gonna hit the full house on top of these ghosts, and the Archers are gonna clean everything else. The planetary is there to give some support, but on the ground, there's not much at all for Bunny. The Liberators getting into position, but there are exactly 3 Ravagers to snipe them down, and that's exactly the amount of piles you need. As you can see, Serral getting full control of what's going on. The Ravagers just slightly out of the range of that planetary. Gonna get 30 workers killed and retreat to strike at another day. More Ultras, more Vipers, and maybe already having a greater Spire, a transition in the pocket. Serral maxed out again. He's gonna wait for his army to come out of these eggs, and then just move forward once again. Liberator's getting in position, but there's not much on the ground for Bunny. He's gonna get swarmed again. GG gets gold, and game 1 goes in favor of Serral. It's time for the second match of this series. Here in the top right hand corner, in the blue, it's a Zerg player leading the series. Makes a noise for Serral. Here in the bottom left hand corner instead, the Red Terran, can he tie up the score and bring this series to a more favorable position? We will see. Here is Bunny. Again, an interesting scouting pattern by these overlords for Serral. I really want to leave anything to the chance, actually. Huh. He's even more conservative with a 16 pool. He's gonna make sure nothing is off. He's gonna make sure he doesn't lose to anything cheeky he can take. the slight disadvantage in the early game. He can take everything in this early game, he feels. And of course, 16 pool is not like you're gonna be too behind. It's not like you're gonna be all in on anything. It's just a safety precaution. It's gonna be probably just the usual 6 lanes. Then start making queens and drones back again. Only 3 larvae are gonna be used. You need a lot of larvae in the early game since you delay your archery by quite a bit, but you also need to do something with his lanes, getting at least some scouting, and Bunny already wants to hide something. The OLED is already way past the position in which you can scout this, so the lanes are your best bet. And it seems like Serral is not gonna find out this location. Lanes are going for the fastest route, and we have a factory being proxied by Bunny over here in the right hand side. Reaper also going on the other side to check for anything, but these lanes are at least gonna delay this command center. Oh, the wall is open. Yeah, oh. This is looking ugly for Bunny, to be completely honest. Yes, he has a proxy factory, but oh, the Marine is gonna get himself surrounded. He's gonna fall. And now it's only lanes against SCVs, and that's not a fight you want to take. On the other side of the map, the Reaper is not getting much done. And yeah, more SCVs are bound to fall, at least another. The Reaper finally getting back home, but these 6 lanes cause the havoc. Here, the starport also going up for the fastest possible alien drop that Bunny can get, and he needs to get to deal some damage because these early 6 lanes got a lot of stuff done. First things first, this command center was delayed by quite a fair bit. He lost 3 of his starting SCVs, which in the early game hurt a lot more than in the late game, losing workers of course. And he also lost a Marine. Alright, 2 aliens are out. First Medivac in the production. 3rd alien also gonna come up very soon. As well as a 4th one maybe. I don't think he will. I don't know. I'm not too sure about this. He's gonna wait for a 4th one? He kind of has time. Serral is waiting for it, and he's sending an overload in as well. Alright, looks like 3 EDs for Bunny. That's a lot of lanes waiting for this, and the Queen is already in position. Bunny is not gonna get much done. Wasn't the usual of commitments. A Liberator is gonna come soon after as well. The Overlord gonna get a little bit of scouting information over here. See, there's nothing really in plan for Bunny after this alien drop. Oh, the alien find a spot which they can get in, but yeah, it's not looking pretty for Bunny, to be completely honest. Is he gonna get at least 1 drone? He's gonna get 1. You can see his ashes over here, full lead. But yeah, he's not gonna lose the aliens. You can keep them alive for a later stage, but that was a very clean defense from Serral. Alright, the aliens taking a little bit of punishment, and the Queens are gonna shoo everything out. Really, like, it's a little bit sad. Like, see, yeah, 7 lanes have fallen. The starting 6 plus 2. Oh, actually, what is going on over here? Liberator, finding some damage. Gonna get 3 drones before the Spore Crawler is up. The Queen is trying to get in position, survive into the Liberator, forcing it to remaneuver around it. And yes, the Queen is behind it. This Liberator is going down, but Bunny has a lot of aliens, and now those aliens are Hellbats. Here comes the Banelings to try and stop this beautiful, beautiful surround. Serral, how do you come up with this every single time? Perfect defense from the Blue Zerg. And Bunny has committed a lot of his own resources into this, with a lair going up for Serral and not much surviving for the Red Terran. Of course, the Zerg player is gonna advance to the mid game in a much much less precarious situation than his opponent. Not all is lost yet. Bunny trying again to get something done. Oh, the aliens find a way in. But yeah, it doesn't really look like they're gonna find much else. Like, yeah, they turn into Elbats. They're gonna try to get some damage over here. This queen is not in the greatest spot ever. Actually, the Elbats find a way past the defenses. Oh, the Spore Crawler is gonna force this Medivac a little bit backwards. Banelings are gonna be cancelled, and now it's drones against Elbats. Bunny finds a way to get some damage done. A lot of lost mining time, as well as with the Liberator. Oh, this Medivac, it barely survives, but it does indeed survive. Another attack from Bunny over here. Still with Elbats and Marines pushing forward. A relentless game from the Red Terran. Beautiful defenses so far from Serral. It looks like it's crumbling a little bit at last. There's a lot of queens out there. But yeah, the loss in mining time has been pretty significant for Serral in this game. Yet again, not much is lost from the Blue Zerg, and you can see he has a very strong economical lead. And now in the main, he's ready for yet another defense. Banelings getting in position to stop these Hellbat, but they don't remain in position fast enough. Lots of lanes hatch from those eggs just when Serral needed them. And I think we had a Medivac dead over here. Oh yes, we did. Of course, Bunny's still looking for damage. Serral a little bit supply blocked right now, and Bunny's finding a way to get in a natural. Of course, he's not gonna find much more damage than this. A couple lanes, and that's all he can wish for. Oh yeah. Serral finding strugglers left and right. Bunny doesn't really look like he's finding any economical damage. He finally gets a third, but Serral is already on top of it. Double cancel on both these refineries, losing 2 SCVs and forcing this command center to lift. And now Serral has already his units in position to defend his 4th base. He's almost gonna get all of these units. Oh, but Bunny wants to get in again, and the Hellbats come just when he needs them. 5 drones fall into this. Serral expanding on the right. He's gonna find a factory over here. And finally it seems like Bunny's relentless assault is gonna come to a full halt. Every single Medivac has been cleared by Serral, and now it's time to go into full mech for Bunny. Oh, this base is in serious danger. Like, I don't really see these lanes defending, and you can see Serral taking a precaution and just canceling that base. These Banelings, are they going to arch? One of them is going to arch and deal a lot of damage to these Elbats. But of course, Serral has plenty of queens for this defense. Cyclones will look to get a couple's knights. 11 roaches, 11 Banelings. That looks like the play from Serral. Defending with roaches and Banelings, maybe some Ravagers added to the mix. But of course, the tech advantage from the Zerg player is the most important thing. You can see Bunny actually getting a fair amount of upgrades. Gonna get +2 weapons for his mech army. But he's looking kind of rough of him. Crit spread is nothing amazing for Serral. He wasn't able to establish a lot of creep due to the amount of pressure that Bunny was able to put on him throughout this game. But there's so many queens out with so much energy, spreading creep like there's no tomorrow. And the double expansion from Serral is gonna pay out. This base over here actually is gonna get an attack command from Bunny. But of course, he needs to be careful. He cannot lose much more than he already lost, with his opponent being so ahead. And look at Serral trying to go for something a little bit too dangerous in my mind. Gonna get a couple aliens, but he's gonna lose much more than his opponent for this. He can get those trades. It's not like he's in a spot in which he doesn't. But of course, Bunny can snowball if it comes to a lot of these kind of trades. Of course, Serral with a hive up, supply at max, almost at 200. He's looking forward to trade as much as possible, trying to force his advantage a little bit more. And with so many queens, he can also play defensively. Like, it's so hard to break a Zerg in this position. Bunny's gonna wait for his key upgrades. He's gonna wait until he has an explosion of production and economy, which he still doesn't have, by the way. Oh, so many banelings. Yeah, beautiful micro from Bunny is gonna completely nullify these banelings. And Serral fails to take one of the trades he wanted to. Beautiful micro army control. Not micro, sorry. I meant beautiful army positioning. Indeed. From Serral, trying to get as much as around as possible, and of course forcing Bunny to take a good trade over here and then take a not so good trade over here. Of course, Serral is still gonna push forward, knowing that he can take any kind of trade with the amount of economical advantage and supply advantage he has. But as I was saying before, like, this is something that can snowball in the hands of Bunny. Like, his upgrades are kind of amazing. He's getting +3, +1 for his mech army. All these cyclones were not in a good spot, and the fungal growth puts the nail in the coffin, really. Bunny not looking pretty right now, and Serral is gonna swarm forward once again. His army is a little bit stronger than one of Bunny. I don't think he can end this game. There's still a lot of tanks. There's not much lanes and main lanes, but yeah, Serral is transitioning into a Spire. And there's nothing that can really threaten him right now. Creep spread has recovered from that early game situation. And now these infestors are actually sharking for damage. They're gonna try to get us around at least. That's what it looked like. Oh, whoa. Can Serral drop down a fungal and stop this army completely? Oh, these infestors wasn't in a best spot. The other infestor trying to get around. Serral so sneaky with his infestors. And Bunny looking also to scan in his own army to check if there's going to be any infestors. Serral with a counterattack here on the left, while his army keeps Bunny pissed over here. Oh, the infestor's gonna get something. Double fungal. He's gonna lose his life for it. But that's a beautiful trade for Serral. As I was saying, he can take those kind of trades. And also getting a couple lanes over here as well. Tours are in the making for Bunny. But with more infestors coming, doesn't really look like the play. Lots and lots of lanes also. The upgrades for the infestors. Crazy upgrades all over the board. +2, +2, +2 with the triple Evo chamber from the blue Zerg. And of course, the Spire, the second Spire, going up to establish even more control. Bunny trying to do something over here on the right. There's so many queens with so much energy. 13 SCVs have been falling down. Serral going relentless with his assault over here. Queens are finally falling, but there's Vipers out right now. They abduct those tanks into a full army of Ravagers. 17 SCVs falling down. Serral doubling the worker amount of his opponent. And with a double Spire transition in the pockets, he can easily take control of this game. Bunny going for the Hail Mary here on the right. He knows that this is do or die, but there's so much out on the ground for Serral. He's gonna get around everything. The Vipers ready to drop down those blinding clouds, and with such beautiful blinding clouds, they are stopping 5 tanks from getting anything done. Both Vipers, actually only one of the Vipers is going to fall, but here, look at this door. 16 health. Look at his tanks. halved in number. Bunny losing 30 more supply, while the Zerg are numberless. Serral pushing forward once again. Beautiful blinding cloud number 3, stopping 3 of these tanks from ever getting a shot. Ravager Buzz raining down from the sky to stop this tank even more. The Queens marching forward. Not the best trade for Serral, but it's enough. Bunny is gonna lose game 2 and Serral is at match point. Top right hand corner, leading the series 2-0 in this match point, third map of this best of 5. Can he do it for the third time? Can he take the series back home? It is Serral looking forward to advance to the finals. His opponent in the bottom left wants to stop him. He doesn't want that to happen. And can he do it here on Oxide and on the next 2 maps? In the red, it's the Terran, Bunny. That is such an amazing way to come to a match point as well. Super dominant performance in game 2. And game 1 wasn't looking very close either. Like, in game 1, Bunny, I don't feel like he got much done until a certain point in the game, which it was probably a little bit too late. But game 2, oh boy, did he try. He tried so hard to get something done. Like, he tried to do so many different things, but it was really feeling like he was shooting at a sponge. And Serral just absorbed everything and came out of it with a 40 supply lead in workers and double the army supply, double the stack, 2 more bases. It was just unfair. And the defensive Zerg style that Serral plays is just something a little bit too scary to play into. So let's see how Bunny adapts into this third set. I actually want him to play a little bit more of a economical rush style, trying to get an early third command center, maybe try to delay his army a little bit, delay his map control a little bit, and go for a strong mid-game push to try and get something done instead of just forcing his hand into defenses of Serral that have been looking a little bit too solid so far. The Reaper, of course, is gonna dance with the lanes before the Queen comes out, but nothing is gonna happen really. He's just gonna escape from here, and he's gonna be okay with it. Oh! Called it. That's what I want to see from Bunny. Trying to rush this economy. Doesn't really care. Getting a couple aliens to get map control. Stop Serral from doing anything crazy. And then just going straight to Starport and getting all the economy he needs. While he, of course, doesn't give up tech in the meanwhile. So Serral Scout is gonna come to the late, I feel. The usual ones are just starting a lair as fast as possible and getting double EVA chambers and just trying to advance to the later stages by getting better upgrades than your opponent, since upgrades are so key in this matchup. But yeah, Serral... Oh, he isn't moving the Overlord into the base. Not yet, at least. He's waiting for a particular timing to scout something. So he's gonna wait for it. Third hatchery already up for Serral. He's gonna start mining from it as well. The aliens, of course, are gonna try themselves to get some scouting, get some damage maybe. It isn't really looking like the game plan of Bunny is doing anything with his aliens. Of course, if he can get some crypt tumors, oh, he does get a crypt tumor, or at least a couple drones, it's always welcome. But you can see Serral really getting a strong worker lead, well, mostly supply lead in this stage, which is not gonna keep on happening. He's gonna see the third orbital command up for Bunny. He's gonna see also this reactor starting. I don't think he saw this deck lab. Let me just double check. Yeah, I didn't see. He saw the reactor starting. But of course, the answer, you can see it in the production tab. Lair going up immediately. Serral trying to break down the rocks. He knows there's not much to fear. Of course, these aliens are still a scare card. He needs to play around those. But he's gonna drop down an Evo chamber soon enough. Oh, aliens. Bunny could have dealt some damage over there. Like, the lanes were a little bit too far. Baneliness is gonna complete exactly in the same timing as the Lair right now. Oh, the Viking. Barely surviving. I want to see double Evo chambers I was talking about before. Upgrades are gonna become very important in this game. And you can see +1 infantry weapons already on the way for Bunny, who wants to get the mid-game push going. And he wants to do it with medivacs, tanks and marines. Of course, even a 4th archery going up for Serral after the aliens have been shooed away. Serral really looking to take control of the map. Here comes the double Evo chambers as well as centrifugal hooks. Started immediately after the lair was finished. And Bunny still looking to get something done with his aliens. Not much has happened in this game, and you can see the units lost up. That pretty much nothing has gone down. A couple crit teamers was good for Bunny, but it doesn't really slow down Serral's quick spread, which is looking kind of amazing, honestly. At 6 minutes, he's already owning half of the map, which is more than he bargained for. Oh, a little bit of a baneling hiding down over here, because those are gonna turn into banelings. I feel like that's way too little lanes. Yes, they're gonna turn into banelings. I feel like I got them all right this far. It doesn't happen too often. Usually I just jinx build orders. But this time, it's really looking like the players are going for a little bit more of the obvious choices. Like, it's a traditional style game, and Bunny wants to take his chances like this, which is a good bet. He's very good at this traditional style, as well as a relentless assault style. But not in the early game, in the mid game. In the early game, you've seen the game before, Serral was just obnoxiously good. Baneling speed is down, but Bunny is striking over here on the right, waiting for the right moment to strike in the front as well. Queen's gonna go for the wraparound, and of course, this drop is gonna be cleared after a little bit of damage has been dealt by Bunny. One of the queens almost goes down. Beautiful transfuses from Serral are gonna keep it alive, and +1/+1 is going to finish for the Zerg player. Oh, did the Banelings go down? Oops. Oh, the Banelings did go down. Probably the tank was a little bit too much for them. Or maybe they retreated with that, fearing something a little bit more heavy coming from Bunny. Of course, now it's time for a heavier medivac style, while Bunny is looking to stop this creep altogether. Serral setting up a huge counterattack here on the right, and Bunny has to retreat his whole army. The wall goes up. Serral is gonna retreat for now. He's gonna be greeted by the full might of Bunny's army. Can he try and deal with it? These banelings are gonna get decent connections, but the trade overall goes in favor of Bunny, finally getting something done in this series. There's a hive going off for Serral. That's a dangerous play from the Finnish Zerg. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, beautiful baneling connections. Bunny was not on top of his micro to save those, and it's a bite for bite this far. +2/+2 started by both players on similar army supply, similar worker supply. This game is as tight as it could ever be in this mid game. Both players perfectly reaching the spot they wanted to. But Serral has a hive incoming, and hive is such a huge power spike in this matchup. Bunny is gonna stop this from becoming a huge threat here by killing the base on the right. Double expand has worked out plenty of good for Serral with this base over here, getting all the drones that were left without a home by the death of this archery on the right. And Serral still looking for a counterattack, still looking to force Bunny's hand. Of course, these medivac are gonna try to get something done. It's a lot of army in every single place. Banelings are getting in position. Oh, the queens are all around these medivacs. Oh, that's not good. Medivac goes down. The second medivac is very bruised. Banyan taking a little bit of a bad trade. And now the hype is up. Adrenal glands, ultra cavern. All these pieces of the puzzle are gonna get together for Serral, as well as +3/+3 gonna be started as soon as possible. Here comes OV speed and burrow to get those utility upgrades are gonna be much needed. Here on the left, Serral with a huge counter attack. He's gonna force a lift, he's gonna kill 2 tanks. The main army of Bunny is falling, and this is another swarm forward. The Zerg are numberless again. Serral taking a huge advantageous trade, easily defending back home, getting 7 SCVs, stopping a lot of mining time, getting 3 tanks, a lot of damage done by the Zerg, and he's now moving on the right side, looking for even more damage. There's a planetary over here, it's not gonna be as easy. And Bunny setting up multiple medivacs on multiple positions, trying to take control of the map the best that he can. But there's always a blank defense point. And so many SCVs are gonna lose their lives for it. Here, Planetary Fortress is under assault. This base is gonna go up. The medivacs are not gonna do much. Here, another attack by Bunny and Serral. He's gonna get the Planetary. Here, another orbital command is under attack. This game is going on in so many different places, but Serral is winning in every single one of those. Banelings and Links in the natural 27 SCVs. Falling down, Serral still striking over here. This orbital command is slowly but surely burning down, and yet again Serral saves this base another time. Serral, perfect strike so far. Oh, is he going to burn? It's so close to burning. SCV's getting there. Oh, and they're gonna save it. Was close. Oh yeah, they are indeed numberless. Serral finding another undefended spot in which to strike. And the Leans getting on top of everything. Adrenal glands is down. +3/+3 started. Serral stopping again Bunny from expanding here on the right. Bunny on 3 bases against the 7 of Serral. 7-3. And now Serral again in the natural to kill even more SCVs, to get even more damage done. Bunny forced in so many different places at once, and he cannot win a single trade in any of those. What a beautiful game by the Blue Zerg, looking as strong as he was in 2018. And now it doesn't look pretty for Bunny. He wasn't able to take his 4th base ever again. Creep is everywhere. The Zerg ground army is getting on top of everything, and 33 SCVs have been going down. Banelings and Lings marching forward. The tanks will stop their advance, but in the end it's 82 workers to 20, and GG gets called. Serral gets the semi-finals with a clean sweep.